Welcome to Get Your Bell Rung, a pro wrestling podcast. I am your host, KG. We will be talking about Friday Night SmackDown, the go home to Royal Rumble. With me tonight is WCW veteran and author of Looking Up at the Light Skies. If you haven't got that book yet, again, I encourage you to get it. It's an incredibly good book. And if you're an old school wrestling fan, like so many of us, it will bring back a lot of memories. I'm talking about Robbie Idol. What's going on, brother?
Not much. How you doing, KG?
Doing good, my man. Doing good, man. Let's get into it. Before we get to SmackDown, a little bit of news. And there's a reason why I want to cover it. The daughter of The Rock, Ava, came out today and said that she left WWE due to combinations of creative direction changes and her own desire to step away from the spotlight within her career path, with her role evolving behind the scenes rather than in the ring. She chooses to move on and explore opportunities outside of WWE, focusing on personal growth and determining her next step. Now, in the article I wrote, though, this is what I find interesting. They specifically they said that this means that Ava won't be in the Royal Rumble, right? And I don't think anyone even thought about, will Ava be in the Royal Rumble? I'm really wondering, is she really leaving? Or is she leaving the management thing, and is she going to be in the Royal Rumble? And is this going to be the start of that career path actually inside of the ring? She's The Rock's daughter. But just because that's Rock's daughter doesn't mean that she has all of his traits. And I don't think she's as charismatic. She's not a great talker. I don't know. I just don't think she has that it factor. Joining us is the Grizzled Vet. We'll get back to that in a second. The co-host of Rasslin Memories, the Grizzled Vet. Vet, to catch you up, what I'm talking about Ava, The Rock's daughter, announcing she has now left WWE. The last episode of NXT was the last episode that we will indeed see her. What I found interesting in this article that I was reading, though, was she talks about that, any rumors of her being in the Royal Rumble should be dispelled now. Man, are they trying to swerve us? Is she actually really leaving, or will we see her in the Royal Rumble? Will this be the actual beginning of her in-ring career? The reason she said that she left was because of creative differences with her path evolving behind the scenes rather than in the ring. But as I was telling Robbie, look, just because she's the Rock daughter doesn't mean she has the it factor, because in my opinion, she doesn't. She's not charismatic. She's not that great on the mic. I've only seen her a couple of times in the ring, so she may be better. I don't know. She may have grown since then. But Robbie, start with you, man. Do you think she's actually leaving, or do you think this is a swerve?
I guess I could see both. But if she's coming back to wrestle, I hope she really put in the time, because when she was with who was it? Was it Gracie?
Yeah.
She really did not have it, so she wasn't good. I think she only had like one or two matches, and saying, granted, she was Rock's daughter, but she did not have it.
No. Grizzle, same question to you, my friend, man. Do you think we're being swerved, or do you think that no, she's leaving?
Does anybody really give a shit?
But honestly, that's the whole point. That's the whole point.
Like Rob said, she wasn't that good in the ring.
Right. But that's my whole point. This whole thing, and that's what made me question this. The whole point about rumors of her entering into the Royal Rumble. What rumors? I don't think there was one fucking person who actually said, I wonder if Ava's going to enter the Royal Rumble. So for that to be mentioned I'm like, okay, are they trying to swerve us for whatever reason? And to your point, who cares? It won't be this big pop that, oh my God, she's still with the company.
Just because her daddy's famous don't mean she's yet. My son told me, Dad, did you hear about Ava? I'm like, what about her? Who? Oh, her. What about her? She's leaving. Oh. First I'd heard about it, haven't really heard about it since. I saw her post that she put up or tweet, whatever. I don't care. I mean, she did a general manager thing. She did it okay, I guess. But other than that, it just wasn't. If this is a swerve for her to be in the Rumble, ooh, I can't wait to talk about the Rumble on Sunday if that's their big swerve. By the way, what's with the lineup here? Why are we in three little?
Oh, because I never switched us back to
There we go. That looks a little better. I was a little too close to Robbie for my own taste.
When we had the party.
I was a little too close.
But whatever way I have it, it's just like it. So before we get to SmackDown, guys, let's take a little bit, take care of some business here real quick. Tonight's episode is being brought to you by FanFest 4. FanFest 4, 2 huge days of fun and excitement, May 8th and 9th. Meet legends, experience the energy, and be part of an unforgettable event. More legends in one room that you can shake a stick at. This was going to be fucking awesome, guys. You can get your tickets at sicw.org. You can also, I would go there every day because they're announcing more and more legends that's going to be there. I mean, freaking Mickey James is going to be there. JB fucking L is going to be there. The American Giant's going to be there. The Cuban Assassin's going to be there. I mean, so many legends are going to be there, guys. So again, sicw.org. Get your tickets now. I promise this is going to fill up and it's going to sell out. Mr. Herb Simmons says, good evening, gentlemen. Joe Helms.
Does Herb have your Cash App?
Express. Joe, thanks for joining us, brother. By the way, great picture with Haku. He also says, why waste a spot for someone that can actually showcase themselves? I actually agree with this. Now, tonight was the Go Home show. Grizzle, was tonight's SmackDown as exciting as you wanted to be? Because I can tell you for myself, not only was I was a little let down by the episode, but the fans let me down a little bit tonight as well, to be honest with you. Man, at first they were exciting, and it just kind of seems like they died out. Your thoughts? Grizzle, I think you may be frozen, man.
Something's going on here. You're breaking up a little bit. Let me cut out. I'll come back.
Right. Yeah, there you go. Freaking winter time, live shit. You never know what's going to happen. Robbie, same question for you, man.
Yeah, I noticed that at the end, like the crowd just kind of, towards as it kind of show went on, they kind of just, the energy was there in the beginning, and then even at the end, there was like not a great big pop.
No, I mean,
they just kind of, I guess the Arabs there didn't take a lesson from everybody else, where everybody had the energy right from the start, the middle to the finish.
Right.
By the ending, they were dead.
Yeah, look, there was people that, during the entrances that they were silent. I'm like, whoa. I mean, the guys that got the pop slate was right at the beginning. Your Cody Rhodes, your Randy Orton, and people like that, which we'll get into. Let's get into that first segment. Opening tonight, Cody Rhodes. His music hits, and he walks down to the ring. He talks about the Royal Rumble. Now, he talked about winning for the third time. And I don't know if you noticed or not, if you were paying attention, but boy, Saudi Arabia said, fuck you, Cody. We don't want you to win, buddy. And they started booing him. You know, we don't know who's going to win the Royal Rumble, but after this segment, we know who they don't want to win.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, yep. Then of course you had as I talked about, Randy Orton came down to a massive pop, people singing his song. Then you had Uso interrupted him. Zayn then came in, and then of course we had the entire Vision faction come out. Look, believe it or not, I think the guy that got the biggest pop was Sami Zayn, man. They love him here. Absolutely love him. Especially, you know, he talks Arabic. Yeah, they loved him, but like I said, they don't want Cody to win. And I'll be honest, even when Randy talked about him winning for the third time, they didn't boo him like they did Cody, but he didn't get that normal Randy Orton pop either, man. What'd you think about this segment?
Too long. It was too long.
Look, this whole show tonight, it wasn't a wrestling show. This was a talk show tonight.
Yeah, it was like
it was.
It was pushing the Rumble, you know, but yeah, it was more of a talk show than it was for a wrestling show. And they just, you know, everybody talking about me winning, you know. So, yeah, you know, kind of a little bit of a letdown for, you know, going into the Rumble.
Right. Now, what came out of this was we ended up having the main event set up for the night, an 8-man tag team, because Randy, you know, he said, Paul Heyman, shut your big fat mouth. Why don't you come down here? The match was made. Now, something interesting that happened was when Paul Heyman was talking, the Vision made it clear that they're going to make sure that it's Braun Breaker that's going to win this. Here's my question for you. Is there going to be fuckery? Because there's the Vision saying Braun Breaker, but when it gets down to it, they each want to have that title, or do you see the Vision break down during the Royal Rumble, Robbie? Or do you think that we're going to have that faction that it's strong, stand on their goal, the purpose to make sure that Braun Breaker is the winner so he can bring home that championship title after WrestleMania?
There's two people in there that I could see kind of going their own way. And I can see Austin Theory doing that, and I can see Logan Paul doing that.
Right.
You know, I mean, where it's been Breaker and Bronson Reed, kind of like those were the two guys that started all of this, and then all of a sudden, like Logan Paul came in and Austin Theory. So I could see Theory or Paul kind of doing their own thing if it comes down to, like, let's say those three.
Right.
I could see, you know, Theory and Logan Paul turning on Breaker.
Yeah.
I could see it out of those two.
Right. That to catch you up, talking about the first segment, talking about Cody Rhodes, him talking about the Royal Rumble, him saying, him winning for the third time, and boy, as I told Robbie, we don't know who's going to win this thing, but we know who the fans don't want to win it. At least one of them, and that's Cody Rhodes, because the crowd at that point turned on him for a second. Then we had Randy Orton come out, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn. Out of all of those guys, Randy got a good pop. They sang his song, don't get me wrong. But Sami was the man tonight that got that pop. Of course, he spoke Arabic. The fans ate the shit up.
He's Syrian.
Was that?
Syrian.
Yeah. And then we seen the Vision come out. Now the Vision talked about that they have a goal, which was Braun Breaker. The big question is, do you think that we're going to see the Vision fall off of their plan and the Royal Rumble getting away from, well, wait a second. I'm not just going to eliminate myself so Brian Breaker could be the guy.
Well, Braun Breaker is going to win. I'm standing behind that 100%. Braun Breaker is going to win. There's just.
I get that. But the question was, do you think that they're going to have add a storyline that we're going to see the Vision get on shaky ground tomorrow night?
No.
No?
The Vision is the best thing they got going right now.
Right.
There's not going to be shaky ground until Seth Rollins comes back. Then things will start happening. But no, for right now, no. And it would be stupid to break up the Vision. The Vision Breaker going into Mania with the Vision behind him makes him the biggest threat for that title. So they do not want to break up the Vision at this point.
No, I don't think that they would break him up, but I could.
Or even shaky ground.
I can see a little bit of fuckery just because of the big egos, especially with a Logan Paul being in there as well. Next, then we have Nick Aldis appears and books tonight's main event. Cody, Orton, Zayn, Uso versus Division, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, and Austin Theory. Next, by the way, my backstage couple may be out of order, but it's whatever. Next, we go to Dragunov backstage and The Miz. And by the way, Grizzle, something else I mentioned, man, tonight wasn't SmackDown Professional Wrestling. Tonight was the SmackDown talk show because holy shit, it seemed like there was way more talking promos or talking segments than wrestling tonight for some reason.
I'm thinking because they can film those in advance,
right?
And travel time, they're probably trying to keep the actual matches to a minimum just because of, we don't know when they left the States to come over, jet lag, travel time. So they probably thought loading it more with backstage stuff that they can produce, we don't know. This backstage stuff could have been done back in the States before they came over.
That's exactly what I was about to ask you. How much of it do you think it was done in the States? Because this obviously wasn't live tonight because I was able to watch SmackDown and I was done with it by 8:30.
It was live if you have the Netflix deal outside of the US.
Yeah, but much earlier today.
Yes, it was earlier today. It was live. We got a taped version. We got it on tape delay. So it was aired live. So match-wise,
I was like, holy shit, this is gonna be pre-taped. I just remembered it was around 6:00, and I started at 6, and then it was done about 8:15, 8:30. No commercials on my end. Yeah. Anyway, Dragunov with The Miz. The Miz tells Dragunov, "Look, brother, calm down. Your boy, your friend, him, Carmelo Hayes, he got me to push you off the ropes last week." Dragunov didn't give a shit. He was just about, what? I don't care about your excuses. I don't care if he did or didn't. I'm whipping your ass tonight. Do you guys think this backstage segment was a needed backstage segment, or could this been completely skipped? Grizzle?
I think it was kind of necessary.
I agree.
Kind of set it up for the match and whatever, And I don't mind a backstage promo if it's to set up something or to tie into something later, but some of these backstage segments were just there.
Right. I agree that this one was necessary because this is the beginning of a storyline, and this was the first little block in it, I believe, to add that doubt with Carmelo Hayes and add that little bit of tension between him and Dragunov, but really, I think, to start that final storyline between The Miz and Carmelo Hayes that we haven't gotten yet. We have to have that finality, if you know what I'm saying. Robbie, your thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, I agree with both of you on that. So you're just kind of setting up that whole circle with the three of them.
Right. Yep.
Robbie, you're not sounding too good tonight.
I know I got a sore throat.
Oh, okay. I'm kind of picking up. You don't have the Robbie swagger with you going tonight.
Well, that's because before we started, we were waiting on you, man. And he was yelling and screaming and cussing you out, throwing shit. I'm like, God damn, Robbie, calm down. Fucking impatient.
I get here when I get here.
You know, I almost called him Bob Cook for a second.
Wow.
This is where I know things. I was a little off with this backstage segment, but we're going to go anyway. It was the whole R-Truth and Nick Aldis thing with Damian Priest. This was basically a little bit of comic relief, but at the same time, seeing a no-nonsense Damian Priest picking the entry number for tomorrow, and basically saying, I don't give a damn what number it is. This is just, more guys I can throw out. And of course, R-Truth was the comic relief. Guys, did you care about this backstage segment? Do you wish, Robbie, that the show's already long enough? Why did we have to have this?
Yeah, we didn't need it. I don't know that it added anything other than you got the only thing I guess that it showed is a serious side of Damian Priest.
Yeah. The reason why I liked it and the reason I didn't mind it was we got to see R-Truth. This is the only way it seems like R-Truth is going to be shown is in these silly backstage segments. I'm really surprised he's being advertised to be in the Royal Rumble. I'm sure that he's going to be the comic relief for the Royal Rumble tomorrow. We'll see. But goddamn, wouldn't that be a swerve of the biggest swerve you can ever do if R-Truth comes in last and he wins it? It ain't going to happen, but I'm just saying, I wish that shit would happen. That would excite me because that's something that no one would see coming. Grizzle, what'd you think about this segment, man? Is it something that you wish you just skipped over because the show's already long enough? Or, hey, man, we got to see R-Truth.
Well, it's always fun to see R-Truth. But yeah, now if you add stuff to a 3-hour show, you're kind of, I didn't mind this one though, because I'm kind of the old school guy, the kid remember back to the original Rumble, the old days, they'd sing and they'd pick I always liked watching them pick the numbers. I don't know why, but that was fun to see them pick the number and they get, it's going to be a long night and they storm out. So I kind of liked it because it was kind of a flashback to when I was a teenager watching it on TV and they'd spin the big giant golden barrel and reach in and pick their number. So I kind of liked it just for a nostalgia thing that Damian Priest picked the number.
Right. One thing that I do miss is back in the day, and I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but back in the day, not every year, but a lot of the years, you would know who picked number one. And then back in the day, we also, and again, I'm not saying every year they did this, but they did this a few times. And I liked it. They also had kind of a mini tournament, if you will. I don't think they called it a tournament, but it was for the, whoever won got to be number 30, the last guy.
Yeah, they did a few of those.
They haven't done the whole number one thing or the number 30 in a very long time.
When they used to do the pre-shows, the half-hour pre-show, they'd put a match on where there'd be like 4 guys in a 4-way match, and the winner is number 30. So that guy would wrestle like a 4-way match during the pre-show to get everybody's attention, and then he would just kind of kick back in the back until the end of the show to come out as number 30. I believe one year it was like Duke the Dumpster Drosy or something won it, but yeah, I specifically remember they would do that, like a little match and whoever won got number 30.
Right. Now, here's a question for you guys both. Robbie, you can keep your answers real short. I know you're thrilled about it. I appreciate you even showing up tonight, man. Here's a question for you both. Who do you think in our current roster in the men's division could pick number one and we see them go the entire distance? Grizzle?
The guy that I said is going to win. Because if you've seen the issue that was floating around earlier today.
What issue? I missed it.
The live broadcast that was aired on the Netflix and whatever, when Axiom comes out for his match,
Okay.
There's a crawl across the bottom of the screen that says,
"Oh yes,
Braun Breaker, number one Royal Rumble entrant."
Yeah.
Oops, it was edited out of our version.
Yeah.
So
but see, that's the thing. Yeah. So the version I watched, I did see it, but it was so quick. I caught Braun Breaker, but I didn't catch when it's the rest.
It says number one entrant.
Really? Yeah. Yeah. So, oops. That's a big oops.
That's a big oops. But I kind of thought that was what they were going to do when Adam Pearce said, "You're in the Rumble."
Right.
And you're number one. That's what I was expecting him to do. But he didn't go that route because I figured they're going to do everything. So I figured, okay, Breaker's going to go in number one. You know, he's going to get, but he's still going to take it through. But honestly, I mean, Breaker's a beast. I could see him going. Another guy I could see coming in number one, number two, going to the end is what we've seen the vignettes on him. I could see Obafemi going the distance and tossing people. He ain't going to win. It's too soon for him to get a win like that, but I could see him doing it.
Right. And you know what? He is a beast. But you know, when the first segment with Randy Uso, my God, Randy Orton.
Jay Orton.
Yep. You know, I looked at him because I was thinking first when Braun Breaker, came out, they showed him and then they showed Orton again. Man, as much of a beast Braun Breaker is, I think Randy Orton's bigger than Braun Breaker. Do you think, even though Braun Breaker, much younger, I agree with everything you just said, with the exception of him being the winner, there's a higher percentage in my brain that he's going to win it, but there's a couple of people that I can see winning besides him. But do you think Randy Orton still has it in him to go the full distance?
From like 1 to 30?
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, the man's in shape, the man's got the cardio, but age is a factor. But I mean, I ain't gonna say no.
Yep. And speaking of being in shape, and we'll get back to this, guys. I apologize, but something worthwhile mentioning, at least in my brain, is Kevin Nash. Man, he's been in the wrestling news a lot for talking shit. The latest person he's talking shit about is CM Punk. Basically saying that, man, you're only in your 40s. You're the world champion. And you're already losing muscle tone. You're having to wrestle with a T-shirt on. That looks bad. And then he took a picture. I don't know if the person who did the article did this themselves or this was Kevin Nash thing. But there's pictures comparing Kevin Nash, who was, I think, in the 60s now, and CM Punk in his 40s. And, man, Kevin Nash looks good. He does. But, man, he seems like he's becoming another bitter wrestler. What the fuck's going on here with a lot of these legends? I found that interesting. And something else that was interesting is Vince Russo.
Oh, God.
Who is now, whatever his position is, with the Juggalo Wrestling.
He's the head of creative for Juggalo,
right? He was
and an investor.
So he was talking some mad shit about Triple H in the ring again. And then he stopped and said, but Matt Cardona was a great champion, because apparently Matt Cardona was champion and he vacated that championship to go to WWE. And now they're having this, whatever they're having, I don't follow it. But man, this guy, he was dogging Triple H about being an attention whore and put himself in a spotlight in professional wrestling still, which I disagree with him. I don't think Triple H has done that much at all. But here he is in the middle of the ring holding a goddamn fucking title belt. I'm like, my God, you want to talk about someone who's an attention whore? Vince Russo, the biggest attention whore in professional wrestling, Robbie.
Yes, I agree.
Man, give me your opinion about both the whole Kevin Nash, CM Punk thing, and also Russo.
I was never a Kevin Nash fan. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I think part of the reason he was there is because of his size. You know, he had the look and his size. But I mean, if you look and you like kind of say, okay, what did Kevin Nash do in the wrestling world? Like, you know, famously, you know, I don't, you know, I mean, the Click, you know, him, Scott Hall, Triple H, and, you know, just he was part of that faction. So I wonder if that kind of like elevated him a little bit more in the wrestling world. I mean, I'm not a CM Punk fan, but the fans love him. You know, he's over. Could it be part jealousy that you know that he didn't get the kind of attention that CM Punk got?
Right.
You know, Russo's just an idiot. You know, just yeah.
See, but this is my thing, and that, correct me if I'm wrong. The thing with CM Punk is, I don't ever remember CM Punk being this just ripped guy. Matter of fact, I think he looks the exact same way now that he did back in his younger years. He's always been thin. He always looked like he was in shape, maybe not this ripped, muscular guy. So there has to be something else going on there beneath the surface that's not being said with Kevin Nash. Now, as far as his career, look, in my younger years, I like Kevin Nash. I thought he was funny on the mic, right? I thought he had a presence about him. He wasn't my favorite. He wouldn't go on my Mount Rushmore by any means. But he was part of the NWO. Man, what is your take on all of this, Vet?
I'm with you. Punk's never been like the body guy.
Right.
And I don't recall, unless I'm drawing a blank, I don't recall him wrestling in a t-shirt all that much. I mean, he didn't the other night. There was no t-shirt that I can recall.
In the beginning of his matches, he wears t-shirts, somewhat, okay. But he always takes them off.
Yeah, I mean, and also he's in his 40s, so I mean, he's not going to be the, chiseled Adonis. I mean, like we said, he never was.
Right.
I think some of it might be just to kind of be in the spotlight. Hey, this is my opinion. In one case, we're saying here, Kevin's always cool. I've heard a lot of good things about Kevin Nash as far as, in public and people who knew him. So, it just kind of different. And as far as Vince Russo goes, good God. Triple H is an attention whore. As soon as you said that, I'm like, well, fuck, nobody would know that better than, the biggest one of all.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's so obvious that he is trying to create this controversy in order to push the promotion that he's with now, because controversy can create money and followers and fans and shit like that. I think he's trying to create this little mini attitude era in the promotion he's in, but it's like, stop. It looks terrible and it sounds terrible. Bob Cook says Kevin was always cool to me. He also says the jealousy people have over Triple H is pathetic, and I agree. Bob, I wish you was on the show tonight, man. I was excited to have you on Tuesday. I was hoping you'd be with us again. Hope you'll be back with us on Tuesday. I really do miss you. Anyway, guys, let's get back to the show. Next, we go to the United States Championship Open Challenge. Carmelo Hayes versus Ray Phoenix. Phoenix, he put up a fight. I thought this was a decent match. Nonetheless, Hayes was able to retain. Grizzle, did you like this match, man?
It was an all right match. I mean, both guys, are good at what they do. So no, match was all right. One thing I was noticing, though, and when Phoenix came out, and I kind of thought about this, him and Penta were supposed to be the big signings to come over. And it seems to be both. They're both just kind of treading water and just slowly becoming another masked guy on the roster, another, Ray, Dragon Lee, whoever. I'm not seeing the big stardom push that everybody was expecting from it. I hope they don't. If they're going to start doing that, put them back together as a tag team and let them do their thing together. If you're not going to do something with them as singles, don't completely bury him. But they just Razor seems to be kind of treading water. He's not doing much.
This is the thing.
And Penta's kind of the same thing.
And again, this is strictly my opinion. Robbie could, if he agrees with this or even if he disagrees, he's been in the business, add more water to it. I think that both Penta and Phoenix aren't getting that fan reaction that WWE initially thought that they would be able to get. They did it first and keep. But I'm going to be honest with you. I think part of that is on WWE. And I've said this 1,000 times. WWE will grab these people, especially those whose wrestling styles were very risky, right? Had a lot of high spots where they could get hurt, and they will WWE-nize them, let them keep some of it, but really make them into technical wrestlers, more mat wrestling than out of those high spots. And most of the time, I agree with them. It's an investment. The talent's an investment. You want to keep them from getting hurt. Unfortunately, though, when it comes to Phoenix and Penta, I think that hurts them, in my opinion. Robbie, what do you think about this match? And then I want you to elaborate. Do you agree, disagree with what I said? And then Grizzled, I actually want you to tell me your thoughts on that as well. After
I liked the match. I thought it was good. You saw a little bit of what Phoenix is, capable of doing. But I totally agree with you where they tone them down.
Right.
Like the tone. Like we'll use an example here. Let's say WWE grabbed Darby Allin. Do you really think they're going to let Darby take those kind of, So where Phoenix and Penta, the high flyers and stuff like that, and like you've seen them on Lucha Underground, and what they're capable of doing. And yes, I understand you tone them down to protect your investment, but now all of a sudden, like you said, they're not over as much as that, So you're kind of, you're just kind of toning them down. So I mean, I agree with that. Put them back together, kind of let them do their thing. Say, okay, let's take, do some more risks. Try to keep it safe. Don't go Darby Allin on us, but kind of turn it up a few notches.
Right. Vet, your thoughts on what I said. I mean, do you agree that, man, sometimes there's certain talent that if you tone down, you're going to hurt them?
Oh, 100%. Shinsuke Nakamura, look at him. Yeah. That's not New Japan Shinsuke Nakamura. No. That's the WWE version. Same thing with Penta. Same thing with Phoenix. Just they take these guys. They're like, oh, here's the hot, and then they just kind of slow them down a little bit. But right here, bottom of the screen, what Bob's saying, their merchandise probably selling like crazy for the kids because the kids love the superheroes with the masks. So the merchandise is selling. So WWE is like, hey, kids love it. We're selling it because bottom line, it's money. Unfortunately, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Next, we go to this one may be out of order a little bit. Backstage, Drew McIntyre promo with Kathy Kelly catches up with the champion, and bottom line is him saying that I'm going to do what it takes for me to keep this championship belt. Sami Zayn, are you going to do that? I don't know who I started with last time. Robbie, your thoughts on this backstage? Was this another filler, or was this something to kind of remind the fans about this match between these two?
Probably both. Kind of remind the fans of filler.
Right.
I mean, I guess you got to fill. You got 3 hours, so you got to kill a little bit of time.
Right.
So.
Right. That
they don't need 3 hours. No, this was completely
we all know they don't need 3 hours.
This was completely filler. I mean, it just, I'm going to do what it takes to win. Are you going to do the same? Ooh, okay. That boils down to, I'm the champ. I'm going to keep the belt. Can you take it from me? Okay, bye. They're like, ooh, such a, I don't know.
Yeah. Next, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss comes to the ring. Charlotte talks first and says, I'm going to win this. And I'm so excited to win this with my best friend, Alexa Bliss. Watch my back. Alexa Bliss says, you lost your mind. I'm going to win this. Now, they're the same thing, Charlotte. They go back and forth kind of in a playful banter, but yet little bit of cracks surfing, coming up right now. And then they were interrupted by the Judgment Day. I'm talking about Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. And they seem like they're more on the same page because Liv Morgan didn't say she said one of us is going to win this. And then Nick Aldis comes and says, you know what, ladies, even though you're not on my show on a normal basis, anytime you come on the stage, you did become part of the show. So therefore, now we have a match. That's when we go into this tag team match. Decent match. Wasn't the best match. Wasn't the worst match by any means, in my opinion. Raquel kept on getting involved. Stephanie Vaquer says, enough. Kicks Raquel, allowing Alexa Bliss to get Roxanne Perez in her version of the DDT for the 1, 2, 3. Grizzled Vet, your thoughts, the promos, and this match, man.
This is the one promo I didn't mind because at least it rolled into something. It wasn't just a promo and then 30 minutes later or something. So I didn't mind this. It rolled into all this came out. Let's make a match. I didn't mind the match, which goes to show when you put 4 competent women in a ring together, you can actually produce something good. Maybe Tony Khan should look into this. But the match was decent. I didn't have a problem with it. The one thing though, and me, things catch my eye. And we know over in Saudi they have to have the head to toe gear, that right?
Yep.
I'm just having a problem of what it's going to look like when there's like 10, 15 girls all in bodysuits that pretty much look exactly the fucking same. Because at some points in time of the tag match, I was having an issue when more than one of okay, it's no shit no okay. Because what do you have to differentiate? Look at their head, figure out which one's Charlotte, which one's Alexis, which one's Roxanne, which one's because in those bodysuits there's nothing to differentiate.
Right.
So to my eye, it kind of threw me off, and I really had to focus on the match to kind of keep it straight what was going on. Or I might have thought that Alexa DDT Charlotte Flair and pinned Roxanne Perez. It was a little confusing. Right. I don't like the bodysuits, but I know it's religious custom and they have to do it.
Right. Yeah.
One of those weird things that just catches my eye.
You know what, man? It's pro wrestling.
That's Robbie's line, motherfucker. Just wrestling, vet. And I know it is,
Robbie.
But I'm just saying. Yeah. There's 20 of them in the ring all
dressed. But you know what, though? Look. If you think about where we were at the very first time they were there compared to where we're at now, and then if you look at the crowd and seeing, these young girls in the crowd, that puts a smile on my face. It really does, because I know it's just professional wrestling, as non-professional wrestling fans will say, but you know what? It's because of professional wrestling that's actually pushed Saudi Arabia to kind of take some steps forward to the 21st century towards, women's rights. Now, I'm not saying the massive, these big, huge steps, but little ones, right? And look, when it comes to a place like this, everything that does that is a good thing. So, yeah, Robbie, what'd you think about this whole thing, man?
Kind of agree with that. Everything rolled into everything, right. And even at the very end, when Stephanie came out, and super kicked Raquel, So now you're setting up the street fight for tomorrow. So, I mean, it all kind of flowed. The match was okay.
Right.
You know, at least it all had purpose. You know, nothing kind of went off.
Right.
Like made you wonder, okay, why'd this happen? Why'd that happen? Good match. So.
Yep, I agree. Guys, I'm going to throw this in right now just because it's on my trusted tablet, but I didn't write it on my keep for some reason. It is backstage segment with Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. And then, of course, all the girls, Julia and Nia, you know, Lash Legend, the whole chaos bullshit. The reason why I want to bring this up, Nia Jax has lost so much weight that she started to look like a different person. And good for Nia Jax for losing that weight. Congratulations. Trust me, I know what it is. But at the same time, do you think if she keeps on losing weight, Robbie and Grizzle, do you think that this could hurt her character? Because what is she known for? Being the big girl, right? That dominates you at times. So how much is too much, I guess, is the question, Robbie?
So I think she's, you know, because she's Samoan, so I mean, she's still gonna have that size to her. Maybe, you know, losing the weight and stuff. Maybe she'll move a little bit better.
Right.
I'm dying, Bob.
I was going to say, Bob, you know, he's saying, is Robbie okay? Is he sick or is he dying? Look, Robbie has never been okay. I mean, you know.
I know. It's like when people go, can I help you? I go, there's not enough. You couldn't go. You can't go there because there's no way there's enough to help me. So.
Right. Ringside Reporter Network, thanks for joining. Please subscribe if you haven't. Says she looked great here in Montreal live. And again, I agree with you. I think she does look great. That's awesome that she's been able to lose the weight. But in the world of professional wrestling, again, can that come back to hurt her as far as the character? But Bob Cook also made a good point, says that he's never, you know, I'm not a fan of hers, but her health means more than any character, and you're 100%
right.
Bobby. Bob, I agree. And Bob says very true. What I said, no, has Robbie ever been okay? Grizzle, your opinion and thoughts on that?
I'm gonna agree with Bob as far as like the size goes. No, I mean, if she's gonna lose weight and can do something better for her life, make her healthier, you know, live longer, fuck the character. It doesn't give a shit. She can change a few things. And like Robbie said, she's Samoan, so alone she's gonna still be a thicker girl. We're not gonna see, you know, super skinny supermodel Nia Jax just because I don't think that's her body structure, just because of, you know, her, you know, nationality, whatever. So she's never gonna be the super thin girl, but I don't see anything wrong. And if it helps her be a little bit more, you know, mobile, and she can be a little more athletic, maybe a little more devastating, I've got no problem with that.
Yeah, no, 100%.
She's not gonna be like the ripped up Charlotte Flair. She'll never be like that.
Right. Bob says she's still a big girl, taller than most, 100%. We continue backstage with Jordan Grace's interview. She barely gets to that interview, but then Jay Cargill jumps her from behind. A brawl ensues. Then officials separate them. Guys, do you think that we are really leaning towards Jordan Grace actually winning this whole goddamn Royal Rumble to set up for a match between these two? Or do you think, no, someone else is probably going to win the Royal Rumble, but she's probably going to win the Elimination Chamber because we're going to see Jordan Grace and Jay Cargill at WrestleMania? Grizzle?
I could see Jordan winning the Rumble. I could also see it going to be an Elimination Chamber win. Somehow she is going to get a hold of Jade and she's going to win that title. That's just a given. Jordan is too damn good of an athlete not to. If they invest any time and effort into Jade Cargill, they better invest that time into Jordan. You know.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Bob says no. He is a Jade guy.
Yeah.
He loves Jade.
He likes looking at Jade.
He likes the way that Jade looks. He likes the way that Jade looks.
Exactly.
Now, if you look at reality, you'll go, WWE kind of missed on her because she's not doing it. She's just one of those things.
Bob says he rather Bob Cook versus Jade.
So, but I mean, I agree with that. I mean, Jordan, I could see Jordan taking it off of her. Jordan's talented, and at least she can talk on the mic and stuff. She's, she not where you're going, okay, please get her off the mic.
Right. Next, still SmackDown talk show, we get Gargano and Candice. Now, granted, I think this was important because of the match. Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae are walking backstage. Nick Aldis stops them. Candice is banned from ringside tonight, and if Axiom wins, Gargano must return his mask, which leads us to the match. Axiom with Nathan Frazier against Johnny Gargano. Guys, remember last week, the week before, and I said how good of a match between these guys, how much the match, it was a good match. I think it's actually against Nathan Frazier, though. But the ending ruined it. I'll be goddamn if it wasn't the same thing. This ending was just the dumbest shit. And I'll tell you why. I like the match, but then all of a sudden, we have Axiom with one mask. Johnny Gargano takes the other mask off. The turns his back. Yay, I got his other mask. Only for Axiom to put on the first mask, the original mask that was removed, to then beat Johnny Gargano. Man, stop with the dumb endings so I could say this was just a good match, period. Because these stupid-ass endings both times is taken away from the match. Robbie, do you agree, or am I just fucking crazy?
Well, we won't go there, KG.
Rephrase that. Do you agree, or do you think that the ending was fine?
That was like you walked into that one, KG. That was like asking the question he asked about Robbie. Right. Is he okay?
Right.
Good match. I liked the match. I actually liked the ending. It was kind of it was good. Like, okay, he got the mask, yeah. So, I guess that was how they decided, okay, this is how we're gonna put it over. But no, it was a good match. They're both, both talented guys.
Yeah.
And you kind of feel bad for Johnny, now, because he was with Ciampa, and now Ciampa's gone, and now is he gonna? Hopefully, he doesn't get lost in the singles thing.
Yeah, I agree, because I think before they put DIY back together on the main roster, I think Johnny was starting to get lost in the singles. Then, Grizzled, man, let me guess, you're going to go with what Robbie said.
Hold on a second here. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I'm going to go with what Robbie said.
Yeah, I said the ending was dumb. Didn't like it. I think it looked silly.
Well, it was kind of goofy. He pulled the mask off, but yet there's a mask in the corner, and he just swaps the mask and does the move and then gets the mask. And yeah, I mean, it was, but this whole feud's been kind of goofy. It's like, what's so important about the mask of Axiom?
Right. I agree. That's something else I thought about. I'm like, I like this guy's fucking, has that lucha fucking, that thing that makes it so special with the mask. He doesn't. So you have 1,000 masks, dude. You're a white boy. Go get you another mask, put it on your face. Next, we go to Tama Tonga and Shinsuke Nakamura. Tama Tonga finds Shinsuke and he taunts him, suggests he should retire. Nakamura responds in Japanese and challenges Tonga to a match next week. He also responded in English as well. But we're going to get that match next week. Guys, this is a match, Grizzles, this is a match that you're like, yes. Because honestly, I think this has potential to be the match of the night next week, to be honest, depending on other matches, obviously. But I think this will be a good match.
I think it can be a good match. I mean, they're both obviously New Japan guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think it's gonna be a very good match. I've always liked, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. I don't think they're utilized. Another guys that aren't used correctly. So no, I would have no problem watching this match. But I like watching Shinsuke. When Shinsuke does what he can do, I mean, he's great. Like I said last week when Robbie said no spoilers because he hadn't watched Saturday night's main event yet. I said, I ain't gonna spoil it. And I said, but AJ and Shinsuke fucking tore it up that night.
Right.
They were allowed to do what they can do, man. And Shinsuke can still go when he wants to.
My problem with Shinsuke is the same problem I've had with Chelsea Green, which is not a problem with them. It's a problem with the way they've been booked. Because I don't like Chelsea Green before WWE. I like Shinsuke. But because the way they booked, it makes it where it's hard to be invested into them, which then takes it away from the match. But a match like this, I think it's going to be a good match. I agree about the AJ Styles match. It was hard not to be invested into that match. Robbie?
Yeah, I think it could be a good match. I mean, I know they work together in New Japan and stuff, so, they have history, and that always helps. So hopefully they let them, kind of take the reins off and let them go.
Yeah. Next, we talk about Trick Williams and the interview with Trick Williams and Kathy Kelly. Look, man, I'm sorry, guys. Trick Williams, if Booker T and The Rock put their stuff in a cup and shook it up and baked it, this would be Trick Williams. I'm not into him right now. I think that it just looks too forced. Robbie?
I liked the promo. I actually was impressed with him. I thought he did well.
Yeah. Grizzled?
I mean, that's my opinion, but I thought he did well.
Fair enough. Rob,
I don't know what your issue is with Trick. I mean, promo is good. Guy works good in the ring. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Trick.
And I mean, he looks good. He's built. He looks good. He's got a good look.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with all of that. I'm just saying that for myself, I'm not into this young man yet. Look, if it's anything like a couple other people that had a hard time investing in, but they were so goddamn good, it was impossible to not get invested. I'm sure that's going to happen. Ringside Report Network says Nick Khan is the problem. Next, we go with Dragunov versus The Miz. Guys, I'm sorry. This was a match that I had to keep on stopping myself to stay awake. I was bored.
Really?
Yep. Dragunov was the winner. Man, Michael Cole was all about The Miz tonight, though. All about him. Vet?
I wouldn't say it was slap myself in the face boring. Keep myself awake trying to match it. No, Miz wasn't like the best opponent for Dragunov, but I mean, he wasn't the worst. I mean, it was okay. Not the best match of the show, I'm not going to give it that, but I mean, it was all right. Nothing, I think you're being a little critical.
I think it was the worst match of the show, to be honest with you.
No.
No,
I actually thought it was a good match.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm usually not a Miz guy, but I thought he worked really well with Dragunov, and I thought they did a good match.
What do you guys think was the worst? Well, Axiom and Johnny Gargano had the worst ending of any match in the show.
But that was one of the best matches. Jimmy and Axe. That was one of the best matches. I'm trying to think there. I'm I'm trying to run through in my head there. So
well, I mean, thus far we had the matches. We had the very first match was the Hayes Phoenix.
okay.
Then we had the women's tag Flair Bliss against Perez and Morgan. And then we had Axiom and Johnny, and then this one.
Wasn't there? And there wasn't another one.
We have the main event coming up.
Right, but there wasn't okay. I don't know if you'd really say any of them were worse. That was, I mean, they all.
What has to be worse? What has to be the best? What has to be the worst? I mean, that's just the nature of life. Not saying that it was that, when you say it was the worst match of the night, that's not saying that it was a terrible match. It's just saying compared to all of them.
I mean, if I had to put, like, out of all the matches you had, that was like, you wouldn't rank the high, I would say the women, I mean that, and usually they pull off a good match, but I would say the women out of everybody was.
Look, I mean, fair enough. I'm not going to argue that. It's perception. I can't tell you.
I'm just saying. I'm saying that's my opinion. I mean, I didn't think there really was something that you go, Right. Out of all of them, you'd rank. This one was probably didn't rate in there. They were all good, but I mean, if you were going to put one that didn't rate the highest, I'd say the women.
Yeah. Okay. And and look, I love Dragunov. I think he's such a goddamn good competitor. He's so athletic. Just not feeling this one tonight. Obviously, Dragunov was the winner. Next, we go to a pre-video package interview or segment with MFT and Soul Sequoia talking about, hey, I told you we were going to take everything from the Wyatt Six. By God, we did. And immediately, and then he says, and I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. And then he goes directly into the Wyatt Six with Uncle Howdy. He's saying that he's going to get revenge and he's going to reclaim what was lost. Rizzo, what you think about this, man? I liked it. I'm going to warm up a little bit with this feud between these guys.
I've said it before. Anytime Solo gets a chance to talk, I love to listen to him. I had no issue with the promo, the segment. It sets it up to continue the feud. We knew it wasn't over. And it also solved the biggest problem that I was having with all this was when he relinquished the belt and gave it to his family.
Yes.
Because he wants the world title. I'm like, thank you. Take the tag belt off of Solo. Right. Put it on one of the other guys. Thank you.
Yeah, 100%. Robbie?
No, I liked it. It was good. And I will say this. I'll give Uncle Howdy. He didn't try to talk like Bray and stuff. Mm-hmm. So maybe they're saying here, be yourself, or, which was good. I mean, I'm not him trying to be like Bray. It's just, you want him to be himself, or right. Or make it that character him. Make Uncle Howdy him, him make that character, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So we're gonna ask Vet. So Vet, what do you think was the worst match of the night? Because you didn't put your opinion in, or the bottom match. Let's say the one that didn't rate the highest.
I'm gonna say it would be the ladies tag match.
Wow.
I'll go with the ladies. I don't think Dragunov and Miz were that bad.
No, I thought it was.
I had to ruin all of them. I would say it was probably the ladies, and the ladies match wasn't bad. That's the thing.
Right.
It was all good matches tonight. Nothing was really kind of like, oh God, is this fucking over yet? No.
Yeah, right.
No, by any means it wasn't. And what's crazy is,
no, I know.
I'm normally, I'm not, besides Charlotte Flair and Liv Morgan, I'm not a big fan. I mean, besides Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, I'm not a big fan of the Judgment Day women. So normally I'd be the one saying that it's probably the women for me, but no, not this time. But like I said, your perception is your perception, and I respect 100% respect it. You like what you like. It's not a right or wrong thing.
But I think Liz and Roxanne make a good are good.
Oh, 100%.
They're both similar size wise and stuff like that. They both have that personality. I just think you kind of need to make Raquel go away.
Next, guys, is the main event. Jey Uso, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes, and The Vision against The Vision. God damn, man, this entrance, I swear to God, this entrance was longer than the match. Fuck's sake.
Good thing CM wasn't in there, huh?
The match was fine. Drew McIntyre interfered. He caused the Vision to get DQ'd with Uso, Orton, Zayn, and Rhodes winning. And then we had McIntyre continuing to beat the snot out of Sami Zayn. Then Jacob Fatu music hits. He springs up and blindsides McIntyre. Chaos continued. Brian Breaker spears both Sami and Cody as both men clutch WWE title on the floor coming up. And it goes off. Look, this is the thing. Number one, I like the way they end it with having Zayn and Drew McIntyre both taken out. I'll tell you why. We know Professional Wrestling 101, the night before the PLEs, whoever's standing tall is the guy that's going to be losing the next night at the PLE. So I'm like waiting for Sami Zayn to be the one standing tall because I don't think Drew's dropping that title to him. I love the fact that Fatu was the one standing tall, basically. And I find it interesting, Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn both pick up at the same time, pick it up. And they're standing at each other. I don't think it's Drew McIntyre that attacked Fatu, guys. I think it was Cody Rhodes. I do. I think that
we're kind of seeing they're going to do the swerve and go with that too. You're going to find out it was Cody.
Yeah, that's what I think. Grizzle Man, what did you think about the chaos, the match, everything?
I was looking forward to the match as soon as they made it. I was like, okay, cool. A main event I can get into. And then, of course, they had to do that because they're not going to let anybody lose. Right. Didn't care for the way they ended it. But with all the schmoz that happened afterwards, I liked it because at the end, it kind of leaves you guessing because you got Cody, you got Sami, you got Fatu, you got Braun Breaker doing his thing. Okay, multiple options you've got for who's going to win the Rumble tomorrow. Right. It leaves you guessing. So I didn't mind that part. But I really wish we could have had like a actual finish to the match.
Right. What do you think about me believing that this is going to be the big swerve? And I'm not saying that this is going to happen tomorrow night, but as this storyline progresses, that it's going to come out that Cody was the one that attacked Fatu?
I can see that happening. I can easily see that being the case. I would have no issue with that. It would give Cody something a little bit different, as long as he doesn't pull a Rikishi and I did it for the, I don't want to have that shit. Let's not go that bad, but
you know what? There was
if it's revealed that he is, then I hope they don't fuck up the next thing.
Right.
Because we made John Cena the bad guy and they totally shit the bed on that one.
Look, there was something great came out of Rikishi saying, I did it for The Rock. Was when The Rock later on, might have been a year later, however long it was cut the promo, and he made fun of Rikishi with his whole, that was cool. That was fun.
Yeah, that was the fucking 6-pack Armageddon Hell in a Cell, and Rock did an impersonation of everybody he was facing in the match, and I did it for the people.
Right. Yeah. Right. Robbie, man, your thoughts on this and your thoughts on what Grizzled what we're saying. That this could be Cody.
No, I like I liked the match. You knew they were nobody was going over, so they had to, do the fuck finish, and you knew that was coming. The same, like the thing with Cody, I guess see it happening. I agree with that. Hopefully they don't do it like they did with Cena and just drop the ball.
Right.
That they pull this off if you're going to kind of turn them, which would, maybe, everybody's saying that Cody needs to turn heel anyway. So maybe, the ones of us that are like, okay, you shoved them down our throat. All right, let's do something different with them,
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I tell you, I think the biggest swerve of all is when the lights are going to go out. When they come back on, it's going to be the Don Callis and his family, and Cody Rhodes is going to join the Don Callis family. Guys, something else, and we're going to close on this, that I was shocked about was I feel like the fans failed me tonight. They started off hot, Grizzled. Robbie and I talked about this. They started off hot, man, but then they just died. And a lot of the guys that came out didn't really get big pops or even boos. It was just kind of.
I noticed that. Like an hour left of the show, and then they were just like,
yeah,
they're silent. Right. They were all into it at first. I mean, singing the songs and everything else, and then by the last hour, they just kind of died. I agree. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah,
just like they kind of gave up. But I gotta say though, that stadium they're in, that thing is beautiful.
Oh, absolutely.
They put that thing up real fucking quick.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Royal Rumble, guys, I'm looking forward to it. Tomorrow, we will be doing a recap of this. I haven't got a chance, Grizzled, to tell you yet, so you can find out. Sunday, it's going to be at 2 o'clock. I was going to originally do it at 11 a.m. Okay. Unfortunately, because of prior commitments I thought I'd be able to get out of, I can't. So it's going to be 2 p.m. It's going to be for sure Robbie Idol, myself, and maybe Bob Cook will still join us as well. And maybe, Grizzle, what time do you get home usually?
I work at 2.
Oh, you're going to work at 2?
Yes, that's why I was saying 11 a.m. I could do the show and then get ready for work.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, 2 o'clock is the earliest I can do it. So it's definitely be me and Robbie, and maybe you never know, someone else will join in with us, guys. But join us tomorrow. Let us know what you thought about the Royal Rumble. Did it meet your expectations? It didn't meet the expectations of the surprises that you fans, all of us, have come to expect with the Royal Rumble. Going to find out. Do you guys, Robbie, Vet, you guys stand by your predictions of who's going to win?
Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker, Robbie?
I'm not sure who, I mean, I can see it, but I also saw on social media, and I don't know if you saw it, there was on ESPN, so you had loudmouth Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Ryan Clark. Kandy asked Ryan Clark and Seth Rollins in the middle, and Ryan Clark was talking, and they said he kind of gave it away that Seth Rollins will be in the Royal Rumble, because you just see this dumbfounded look on Seth's face. So
the reporter says, "Oh, this is gonna be for you coming back from injury. You're gonna be in the Rumble," and for a brief second, you just see Seth Rollins go, "Oh shit."
Yeah, and I think we all predicted that, though. But here's the question. He composed
himself quickly, but still.
But you know what? Here's a question, and I wanted to bring that up. Thank you for reminding me, or bringing it up, Robbie, because I've completely.
That's all right.
Do you guys? What is the chance that WWE is going to now pull Seth out of the Royal Rumble because of that?
If he was even in it, but
right.
If he was, I would, because this would just look really bad.
Right.
But then, I agree. You'd pull him just because now ESPN kind of screwed you on that. But if he's over there, now this gives Finn his chance to be in the Rumble. Right. If, I don't know if Finn traveled over there or not, but,
Well, Finn was already announced. Oh, you talking about Finn Balor? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and like I told you, what I thought was crazy about it was last week there was a big storyline of why Finn, it wasn't really a turn because he was still a heel, but why he attacked CM Punk was, they were, well, because he couldn't get into the Royal Rumble because it was already full, right? But yet it wasn't until later than that, on Thursday or Wednesday, that Brian Breaker made the announcement that he was now entering into the Royal Rumble. You see what I'm saying? So it's like that kind of.
You mean Brock Lesnar?
Yeah, Brock Lesnar kind of took away from the whole storyline from Balor not being able to be in there because it was already full.
Right.
One could argue that, well, yeah, but that's because, storyliners, they knew Brock Lesnar. No, it was a surprise. Brock Lesnar, the storyline is Brock Lesnar surprised everyone by deciding at the last minute he's going to be in it, right?
Right.
So
when you heard that announcement, though, didn't for a brief second kind of go, let him and Oba just beat each other for a couple seconds. Nothing major, just a little bit. Yeah. It did me. Right. It got me excited. I'm like, let him and Oba just butt heads together for a second. Right. Call it good. We don't need anything fancy. Just tease us.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's cool that Brock Lesnar's going to be in it. He's not going to. Let me put it this way. I hope to God he doesn't win it.
He won't, but I'm really curious to see how they'll get him out of it.
Out of it? Right. Right. Yeah.
Unless they do one of those surprise eliminations that makes him go, what? But we've seen those before.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. So anyway, guys, Robbie, anything? No? Grizzle?
This Sunday, you can tune in to Rasslin Memories on Pioneer 90.1 FM KSRQ. Stream us live at radionorthland.org. Use the TuneIn Radio app or download the Pioneer Community Radio app, 12 p.m. Central. Glenn Braga and I will be discussing the just released PWI Awards for 2025.
Awesome. Yeah, guys, I promise you will enjoy the show. It's such a Rasslin Memories is such a great show. It really, really is. Guys, please follow me on Facebook, KG Landry. Also, follow Get Your Bell Rung Pro Wrestling Podcast on Facebook. Don't forget SICW.org for FanFest4. It's been an incredible event. Grizzle.
Don't forget, you can also find the great writings and musings of KG Landry at the getyourbellrung.blogspot.com. I do my best to compile, some of his more entertaining, more insightful readings or writings together into one spot, so you don't have to go and search through, hours and hours of news feed. I try my best to put it all into one spot.
Yep, and I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, we will see you, Robbie, on Sunday, 2 p.m., guys, Central Time. Recap of Royal Rumble. Grizzled, see you on Thursday, brother, to talk
about always
AW Dynamite. Until then, you guys enjoy Royal Rumble. Have a great weekend. And don't forget to get your bell rung. Have a good one.